If you've been following the Christina Formella case, the 30-year-old special education teacher from Downers Grove, Illinois, who was accused of essaying a 15-year-old student she was tutoring, well, I got a copy of the entire court file yesterday, and there's more details on there about what happened that I'm going to share with you. The document I'm going to read from is the People's Amended Verified Petition to deny defendant pretrial release. So this was filed by the state attorney and his assistant asking the judge to deny her pretrial release, which of course was not granted. This is the first page. There's really not a whole lot on it. Here's the second page, third, fourth, and page 5. Now, anything that I crossed out in red is either his initials or his mom's. I'm just going to read from it directly, but there are going to be words I'm going to spell and not say because I don't want my video to get flagged for a review and then get taken down. So start at number 4, factual basis in support of pretrial detention. Around 11:05 a.m. on March 15, 2025, victim and his mother went to the Downers Grove Police Department to report an SA committed by his soccer coach tutor, Christina Formella. At the police department, the mom told officers the following in summary. On March 11th, 2025, his cell phone broke, so she purchased a new one for him. On March 14th, 2025, she received the new cell phone and signed into the iCloud, at which point text messages started populating. At this time, the mom noticed a text thread with a phone number with no name and no photo. So she started reading this thread and noticed the following messages. And of course, we have all seen these. He says, "I love you so, so much, mama." And she says, "I love you so much, baby. Even though this morning was short, it was perfect." He says, "I know, baby. It was perfect, baby. So perfect. I love having sex with you. I know, baby. I love it so much. It feels so good. It's so passionate. It's so intimate. It's so perfect." When questioned, he disclosed that this phone number belongs to Christina, his soccer coach. The mom was also able to confirm that this phone number belonged to the defendant because she had the defendant's phone number saved in her phone after he had injured himself in soccer, and she had been asking her for an injury update. Then he disclosed that he and the defendant exchanged phone numbers, began flirtatiously texting with each other, and ended up having sexual intercourse once inside a classroom at Downers Grove South High School sometime in December 2023. At the time of the assault, he was 15 years old and she was 28. During the interview, officers learned that he had joined soccer in August of 2022, his freshman year, and that defendant had been his soccer coach. Officers further learned that the defendant had started tutoring him after he had broken his collarbone. According to the mom, he did not continue to play soccer after his freshman year, even though he had played since he was 8 years old and his grades have dropped. Later that day, DuPage County Children's Advocacy Center investigator Fensel conducted a forensic interview with him. During this forensic interview, he confirmed that the defendant had been his freshman soccer coach and that she had started tutoring him after he had broken his collarbone, freshman year and again sophomore year. He said that he and the defendant had begun messaging each other through a school platform and that she had given him her phone number so that they could play the 8-ball pool game on iMessage. When asked, he said that they had started talking a year and a half ago. He said that one time the defendant had FaceTimed with him while she was in Arizona. According to him, he and the defendant had developed feelings for each other. He said that one morning in December 2023 before school, he had met up with the defendant in her classroom. He said that the defendant had closed her door, which automatically locked, that they had started kissing, that he had grabbed her butt and she grabbed his, over his clothes, that she had removed his pants and underwear, that they had removed her leggings, and that they had engaged in sexual intercourse while standing up. He said that he was wearing a condom that he had finished, and that he had subsequently flushed it down the toilet so that it was not in the classroom garbage. The victim said that the defendant had told him that she liked it. According to him, he had last spoken with the defendant in February 2024, and they had both acknowledged that it was wrong. According to him, he and the defendant had intercourse one time only. He confirmed that it happened when he was 15 years old, and he believed she was 26 or 27, but in actuality, she was 28. And then the rest of this page is what they found in her notes, where she's talking about the victim and how he ruined them and they broke up and how she can't believe she let a 16-year-old boy F with her and just all this stuff. I read all of that part in a previous video if you want to see it. Otherwise, like I said before, I'm going to upload all of this onto my Facebook where you can see the full documents without me in them. Okay, moving on to page 7. Afterwards, detectives interviewed defendant who adamantly denied having sex with him. According to the defendant, everybody comes after her because she is good looking and she is just a good person who cared too much about him. In the same breath, she admitted that she knew her relationship was wrong, but she was unable to stop it because she cares about him too much. When confronted with the text messages found on his phone, she claimed that one day he had grabbed her phone unattended, had entered her passcode, which he allegedly knew because he had seen her type it into her phone one day, had sent the message to his phone, then had deleted the message from her phone and had saved it to his phone as blackmail. According to the defendant, she had no idea these text messages even existed. When confronted with the notes, defendant described them as an outlet for her anxiety, and she attributed her anxiety to him because they had opened up to each other. According to her, she didn't want to see him get into trouble like his older brother did. The defendant admitted that the entire March 16th, 2025 note was about him, but then pivoted and said that any reference to sex was specifically about her husband. When asked about the statements referencing cheating, she blamed him for cheating on her emotionally by having sex with his girlfriend because she cared about him and looked out for him. Throughout her interview, she tried to paint him as her stalker and claimed that her husband was aware, but oddly enough, her husband told detectives that he knows nothing about him beyond his status as a soccer player, and he confirmed that he does not go through the defendant's phone. Despite her accusations against him, she admitted that she never reported anything to the administration or to his mother. Even more puzzling, detectives located on the defendant's phone screenshots of his Instagram, including topless photos of him, and text messages to other people where she spontaneously brought him up in conversation. And even though he had created a new Snapchat username as recently as March 14th, 2025, the defendant was already aware of it, purportedly, so she knows which friend request not to accept. And here's the last page. If you want to keep up with this case, make sure to hit the follow button because I'm going to be watching it very closely.